I'll be a governor who stands up for the middle class for a change.
Welcome back to The Real Story for a Friday. So Twitter deciding to crack down on internet jerks in the wake of the abuse scandal involving the daughter of Robin Williams, Zelda. So Twitter saying, quote, "We have suspended a number of accounts related to this issue for violating our rules, and we are in the process of evaluating how we can further improve our policies to better handle tragic situations like this one." Meantime, Zelda taking matters into her own hands, saying she's signing off social media after bullies posted malicious photos and messages following her father's death. She also says, quote, "Mining our accounts for photos of Dad or judging me on the number of them is cruel and unnecessary. I shared him with a world where everyone was taking their photo with him, but I was lucky enough to spend time with him without cameras, too." So, how do you handle trolls and jerks on social media? Time to bring in our man panel. Gene Marks is a CPA and the owner of the Marks Group. Andy Levy, co-host of Red Eye. And Camille Foster, of course, co-host of The Independents on the Fox Business Network and my summer sidekick today. All right, Gene, so what do you do about this? What does Twitter do about this?
Well, for starters, I mean, I actually am subject to a lot of abuse as well, Gretchen. I mean, I do a lot of writing online. A couple weeks ago, I wrote on Forbes.com the 5 reasons why we should all be admiring Comcast. And you can imagine that really did not go over very well with a lot of people on Twitter.
Because of the customer service rep.
Yes, exactly. And we talked about that actually. So it was all over the place. So I got a lot of abuse. It's not uncommon if you're out there, if you're in the public eye, if you're, you know, something that kind of thing happens. I myself am more laissez-faire. I think that Twitter actually should have some rules. Of course, certain profanity, if somebody's being threatened, I mean, that's one thing. But the more regulation that I see over free speech on the internet, the more that I bristle. So, look, I mean, you grow a thick skin, you're out there, you're going to get that abuse.
Okay, so I think what you're saying is that it would be more up to the individual then, Camille, who's actually on the Twitter account. How do you handle it?
Well, in general, I don't get a whole lot of negative feedback, but when it does happen and it's not ad hominem, I respond. You know, I'm willing to have a conversation with you. Maybe I'm wrong about something. But I hear free speech come up a lot in these conversations, and we should be clear. Twitter is a private company. It's not the government. If they decide they're going to remove certain content, that is not an abridgment of your free speech. You have no right whatsoever to say anything on Twitter unless they grant it to you. So they can police it however they want.
Interesting. Yeah. Andy?
Yeah, this is a tough issue. I get nasty tweets, like most of us do.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure you don't.
Join the crowd.
Oh, come on. And for the record, women, I think, you know, because you get picked on more for your hair and your makeup.
Right?
Women have it, when it comes to getting nasty stuff on social media, women have it far, far worse than men. It's not even close. I get the occasional, you know, I wish you would die and stuff like that. My general response is to just block them. We did a story on Red Eye a couple weeks ago that had to do with Twitter, and I checked. There's a site called blockedby.me that lets you know how many people you've blocked. I, at that time, had blocked 1,034 people.
Oh, my God.
I have an itchy block finger at this point. I have
okay,
zero
so
tolerance.
you know how I have combated a little bit? Is that I kill it with kindness. I write back and I say, "Oh, thank you so much for the critique of my show,
Gretchen, you're going to be
or of
spending
my legs."
all of your life
and
doing
no. And then
win.
I say, "Have a fantastic day!" Exclamation point. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, they'll write back, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Don't you think that there's a certain anonymity of social media that allows people to be so much more cruel?
It does. But yeah, in my case, if I write something, I've had my say. So I had my chance to write my thing, and now people on Twitter are coming back, and they're now having their say. So it's only fair enough that they're going to do that. Again, if it's profane, I mean, if it's a threat, I mean, that goes over.
I should also point out, the stuff that Zelda Williams got was far worse than anything I've had to deal with. I don't blame her at all for completely getting off social media. As far as what Twitter can do about it, I'm glad that they're looking into reviewing the harassment policies, particularly if they're making it easier to report it, because that's a sticking point right now. It's not as easy as it should be to report stuff like that.
Yeah, and people can still hide.
Yeah.
They can still hide under whatever handle name that they want.
But ultimately, Twitter, it's a private company, but it's become basically a public forum, and there are some members of the public who are jerks. The saddest part about this is the losers who sent those tweets and stuff to Zelda Williams, they did it for the attention, and now they've got it.
And now they've got it.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I never get any comments about my hair. So
they'll be coming now, Gene. Just wait.
Yeah, I know.
All right, panel, thank you.
Thank you.
So the flag of Islamic terrorists flying just miles from New York City? Why the guy who raised the controversial flag says it's all a big misunderstanding. Plus, police in Ferguson, Missouri releasing new information in the deadly shooting of that unarmed teen. This is one Democratic senator, as you can see from this tweet, is not too happy with the Democratic governor's handling of the situation. Bleep, bleep.